Hello, and thanks for joining us for another episode of MidAmerican Gardener. I'm your host, Tinisha Spain, and joining me in the studio today are two of my pals here to talk about all things green and growing. We are in the best part of the year, so exciting. So before we get into all the topics and things, let's have you two introduce yourselves and tell us a little about your speciality.
Alrighty then.
So, Miss Martie, we'll start with you.
Hello, my name is Martie Alagna, and I'm just so close to not working for anybody else anymore. But I did landscape for people for a long time, and I work in greenhouses and plant stores, and, so
You know a
just
couple
go
things.
ahead and ask.
You know
Yeah.
a thing or two because you've seen a thing or two.
That's right, right
Okay.
off of television. And if I don't know, I will freely admit it.
And we love that. We love that.
Okay.
All right, Kelly.
Hi, my name is Kelly Allsup, and like Martie, I feel like I'm a really good, well-rounded horticulturist just because I'm interested in all the plants. So I am really passionate about trees and vegetables and cut flowers. And then my number one priority is insects and pollinators and beneficial insects. Really passionate about all that. So when somebody says, "Hey, here's a bug," I'm like, "What is it?" And everybody else is screaming
Running for their life.
some crazy reason.
Come here, little fella.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you
Okay.
doing?
All right, so seasonally, let's talk about kind of where we are and where we should be and where some of us maybe are. So I don't have all of my plants in the ground. So kind of let's just go around and discuss, because you can put tomatoes in June. I think we talked about that last time you were here. So I know
Many
Mother's
times.
Day is the big goal that everyone's waiting to get to, but let's talk a little bit more about the real actual days, and sometimes it's not about the date, it's about the temperature and all those things. So what do you have in, Martie?
Nothing. My May 15th is the frost-free day. And here I am. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything. I'm running a little behind this year.
behind.
But see, I reoriented my garden last year to run north and south as per protocol, and I've had it east and west for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran it north and south for 2 seasons, and it just was terrible. Really bad.
I'm not familiar with this north and south, east and west business.
Yeah. So it's like, well, the light can get down the road up. They're like, no, I don't.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like when you have a greenhouse and they
Yeah.
orient it north to south.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're
Then
trying to get
You've got
or
light
east to west.
down through the rows all day long.
Okay.
Except, it was terrible because I have to jockey around a garage and a shade tree, and I planted the tree. And it's doing really well, which means it shades some of the garden. But that's perfect for broccoli and lettuce in July and August, but not so much tomatoes. So I have to redo the whole thing a quarter turn again.
Uh-oh.
So no, I haven't planted anything
Nothing's
yet.
in yet. And that's okay. We
It
have
hurts
plenty
me
of
in my
time.
heart, but I plant tomatoes in June all the time. And you know what? The ground is warm. Dig the hole deeper, pull the bottom leaves off, chunk her in there. Hello.
And off she goes.
Yeah, they shoot right up. They catch up because it's hot. They like it hot.
Okay. All right.
Some like it hot.
Some like it hot.
That's what I've heard.
Kelly, what do you have in
I
right
am
now?
an impatient person and I like to take risks. So everything is planted.
Everything.
And I'm looking for more garden space or more pots. So I'm growing some cool season vegetables like peas and onions and radishes and spinach. And I did just pop in a tomato plant yesterday because I feel like it's good. We're good.
We're good
We're
there.
good.
We're good.
And actually, I am going to kick my houseplants out of the house this weekend, I'm thinking.
She's
Okay.
brutal. Brutal.
Time to go.
So
Time to go.
yes,
Get outta here.
I do also plant some annuals, right? Because I really love flowers, and I have a hummingbird, and I really want to entice the hummingbird and the butterflies and the bees. So I did plant some of those flowers, but then we went to a plant sale, and my son picked out coleus.
It blooms.
It's pretty and it's easy to grow.
Yes.
So, I can't take that away from it. It's not my favorite plant to grow, but we did plant it and it did unfortunately get nipped by the cold.
Okay.
And then while, in the landscape working at other gardens, I've seen some other perennials and some shrubs that actually have also been nipped by the cold. Some of that new hydrangea foliage, I've seen lilacs.
Yeah.
You had a few plants that were nipped by the cold?
I did, but the thing is, the beauty part, as we all know here at this table, is that coleus is in the mint family, hence the square stem and the opposite leaf growth. So cut it back, and it'll
it's coming
sprout.
back.
Right, it can be this tall. You've seen this, right? You've seen, yeah. Something eats them, whatever. They're like, I don't care, and they'll just, yeah.
They'll come right
ain't no
back.
thing. No, they're
So
fine.
all hope is not lost.
Heck no, it's a weed, really. I'm sure.
It's a weed.
I'm sure. I mean, some plants are persnickety, and they're not.
Okay.
They're like ironclad. They're a third cousin to Creepin' Charlie.
Okay, so they're not.
So the moral of the story
Yeah.
is plant your coleus after the frost-free
Yeah.
date. And then if you are not that great of a gardener, coleus is perfect for you.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
It's
now, when you
ironclad,
find
man.
plants that have been damaged or nipped by the cold, do you need to cut them back? Do you need to do anything to help them
would.
along? You would.
If
Okay.
the leaves if they're pretty wilted and they're not coming, I mean, they just look like, cooked spinach. Cut them off. Just cut back to the stem.
Okay.
Like an inch into the green stem, or back to a leaf axil, depending on where you're at. See, with a lot of plants, I'm careful about that. With coleus, not so much.
Who cares?
Now with the hydrangea, I would not cut that back.
No.
Okay.
No, no, I'm
because-
talking about annuals.
Because
okay.
the hydrangea, you're going to be messing with the flowering period if you cut
Yes.
it back now.
Yeah.
And that actually is one of the questions that we have about hydrangeas is when to cut them back.
Yeah.
Because if you cut a hydrangea back at the wrong time, then you've just taken away all that beautiful flowering. So usually you either cut them back right after they flower, or you cut them back in the beginning of spring, late winter. And so hydrangea plants, I've already cut back hydrangea plants in some of the gardens that I work in. But right now, I would not cut any of them back because I don't want to mess with the flowering. So I'm hoping that, it just goes past that damage. It'll be fine. One of the things that I was always taught was if a plant goes through stress, give it some fertilizer.
Okay.
So maybe that hydrangea or that lilac or some of those perennials, give them a little bit of fertilizer. And don't feel like you have to fertilize them all summer long. That's a no-no. But maybe one treatment of fertilizer to get them past that cold damage is what I personally would do.
Yeah, just give them a little.
And then we had the question about the
hydrangea?
the oak leaf hydrangea.
Yeah, we could do that one. So Ben sent this one in, which is the guy, this is some trivia, who owns the Blooming Idiot. We went to his flower farm. He says, there's a wall, and you'll see the photo here. It's covered with a climbing hydrangea, and while the wall is between 5 and 6 feet tall, the hydrangea is exceeding 8. We planned to cut it last fall, but then he said he read an article that is a job best left for spring, and they want to know if this is a good time to doing it, and they want to know if we suggest trimming that back now. So what are your thoughts there?
I'm not sure what his goal is. I don't know if you showed the picture or not, but they've got a wall, and the hydrangea is climbing up the wall, but it's sunny on the other side. So it's very leafy up on the top there. So I'm not sure if they want to inspire growth on the bare legs there lower or not, or if they just want to reduce the whole thing. But hydrangea petiolaris will go, 25 feet?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so.
Now where it is leggy there, are you able to flush that out? Is there anything you can do, or is that just chasing light and
I
you're kind of
personally
just...
would do rejuvenation cutting, but you're missing out on the flowering for one season. I would cut them all the way back to the ground.
Wow.
And do rejuvenation cutting to get that lower growth back, because it's never gonna
Yeah, it won't.
You can't force that to flush out
I
in
mean,
its current
you
state.
could a little bit, but if you do rejuvenation cutting, it'll just come back with a vengeance.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, here we are in May.
It's not the time.
Okay, I was going to ask,
But
timing-wise.
you are going to, you might as well do it now, right? Because no matter what, you're going to lose the flowering.
They bloom too late in the season to be able to prune them hard in the spring or in the summer and let the new growth that comes on harden off for wintertime. Because when you prune perennials, shrubs, particularly like that, too late in the season, it puts on new growth, but then anybody who's sheared or even hand trimmed their boxwood or anything like that in the late summer, oh, we'll just shape them up for fall. And then the autumn is a little bit warm and you get all that new growth, and then it all freezes and dies. And in the spring, everything leaves out and greens up except those little, I'm like, well, that looks terrible. So because you cut them too late in the season, the new growth has to be tough enough to be able to make it through the summer, and the only thing that can toughen it like that is time. So typically, you prune the spring flowering things right after they bloom, like forsythia and lilac and viburnum, those kind of things. You prune those for shape right after they bloom. But this hydrangea, this petiolaris, they're fabulous. But I was thinking the same thing. If you want to be brutal, I mean, you could go like a foot below that wall and see if you could force some more green out. But I agree with Kelly. If you want it to be green on the wall, I think you're going to have to give it a hard cut. I mean, at least back to like a foot or maybe 2 feet tall.
And would you do that at the end of the summer?
I'd do it right now.
Do it now.
Do it now. Ooh.
I would get rid of the wall.
Dream big.
I mean, the wall, the plant is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love oak leaf hydrangea.
They're
I would grow it
fantastic.
if I lived in a big space.
can't
That's
wait
what
to
you
see what they
need. You
do
need
with this.
something big.
Yeah.
You need a big area for an oak leaf hydrangea, and you see it at churches. I've seen oak leaf hydrangea at several churches. Growing up the
Well,
side.
that is at a church. So, spotted it.
Well, yeah.
It's an old-fashioned kind of. I just don't know
Is
if
it
people.
Is that a quirk?
It's at St. Thomas More. the high
No,
school
is
St.
it
Thomas?
a quercifolia? I thought it was a petiolaris. I thought it was a
know.
climbing
Oak leaf
hydrangea.
hydrangea?
It's a climber, not a shrub.
It just says climbing hydrangea.
Oh,
It
I
doesn't
thought
say
it
the
was
type.
oak leaf. I'm so
No.
sorry.
I also have, I love oak leaves too. And I've got ruby slippers.
Nice.
It's a nice little
We'll have to show all
dwarf,
these
only gets about
pictures.
4 feet tall maybe, if the rabbits don't murder it.
Okay.
So they prune it for me every year, the little,
All right, this is what makes Marty cuss.
see? Yeah, okay.
So we got to
Here we
move
go.
on.
okay. It's
Okay.
rodents, it's rodentia. Okay.
All right. So let's go to your propagating bouquet.
So I do these things called propagation bouquets. And so I will take cuttings of my house plants because clearly in late winter, early spring, I'm chomping at the bit. I cannot hold myself back sometimes. I'll buy plants and no, Kelly. But so I will just do water propagation. My sister and I do this all the time. We just do vases of water and put different, house plant, tropical house plants in here. We have and then we, have all these roots growing, and then we give this kind of gift to our giftee,
Gardening friends.
and then they get to, pot all these up in the pots, and they already have roots growing. So it doesn't take long for some of these plants to initiate root growth. What I do is I just get a long stem. I remove all the leaves below the stem, below the water line, and then the roots come on. This one's called pothos, neon pothos, and you see the roots
got a
are
great
coming
color,
from
huh?
all of the nodes. So that's where we want. Now pothos is one of those where it just like has bumps everywhere, and it's just trying to root even up here. Then I have what is called, the new name for this is called Wandering Dude. And so this is a nice, shade plant. Look at all those beautiful roots. See, I'm just making that person really successful by giving
Setting
them
them
all
up.
these roots.
And the backs are purple.
Yes.
That's an annual, but it makes a great addition to a hanging basket
Yes.
Yes.
with some blooms because it's a lovely trailer and it's got all that color. Really nice.
And I think the purple and the chartreuse
Oh, yes.
are
lovely.
And then this one is called Alternanthera, which is called Joseph's coat, and it actually is an annual. And
That's what I thought that was. I'm like, what do you do with a house plant?
I mean,
Poor professionals do what they want, you know?
so I mean, I just grew Alternanthera in a pot and I kept it inside.
Do tell.
And then I just take cuttings of it all winter long and give people. I'll even go get flowers, or when I do grow my own flowers, I'll give people flowers within the propagation
I love
bouquets.
that. You have to keep busy, and you are a greenhouse grower too, right? So it's like it's in your blood.
gosh. Yeah.
I do. The greenhouse is in my in my background. Absolutely.
I think about you every year when we start talking about poinsettias. And actually, you two are kindred spirits because Martie goes and rescues all of the. She rescues them all from church. Well, not kindred spirits because you would trash them.
I would put
So
them in
totally
a dumpster
opposite. Yeah,
faster
that's
than
right.
anything.
That's right. I forgot. Your team throw them away, and
I'm
Martie's
team throw 'em
team
away.
take them home. So.
I also get the Easter lilies and plant them in the yard.
Take them home.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're just lilies. Now they're not going to bloom at Easter,
No,
but they're just Madonna lilies. They'll bloom in the summer. 2, 3, 4 feet tall, depending on the variety. Just stick them in the ground. And they'll bloom with your other lilies.
Martie, that actually piggybacks off another question.
That's right.
It does.
The tulip question.
It does.
Indeed.
Here we go.
So
Good
when
idea.
you get these amazing plants for Mother's Day, blooming tulips or Easter lilies
Hyacinths
or all these, what do you do
jonquils.
with them when they're done?
Plant them.
Well, I mean, there's two things you can do. You can go ahead and you can plant them in the ground, watch that foliage fade. You want that foliage to fade to yellow at least 6 weeks. Like the tulip foliage right now in the landscape is really ugly, but all gardeners know that they can't take that old ugly foliage away or they're compromising next year's tulips.
Yep.
Now tulips are one of those that is iffy
Yeah.
in Illinois anyway.
Yes.
Yep.
Meaning most of the time people plant tulips as annuals
Oh.
because the subsequent year is not going to have quite as beautiful of a flower.
Yeah.
And that's just for tulips. Now daffodils, fine.
I always blame the
Hyacinths,
squirrels. So do they not survive the winter? Why do tulips struggle?
I think tulips struggle because of root diseases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty wet in Illinois in the winter.
Okay.
And they really prefer a little bit drier
Because
environment.
I will
but-
plant heavy, and then I'll get like 2.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of rabbits and squirrels and things in my yard, so I always blame them. But are there other varieties that will do better in Illinois?
Daffodils.
Daffodil. Okay, so skip tulip entirely.
I mean, daffodils are deer resistant, rabbit resistant.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that's what you're struggling with your
Yes,
tulips is
that's
deer
true.
come over and chomp your tulips down. I just think daffodils are easier. They naturalize easier. Obviously, they're much more aggressive than a tulip is.
Daffodils and cockroaches will be here when the rest of us are
when we're all gone.
black
But
and crisp, yes.
Another
That'll be it.
thing, well, I read on the internet that at a university website that if the tulip was forced in a greenhouse, it's not going to come back.
Ever.
But from personal experience, it comes back.
Yeah, they do.
So maybe it's just like I'm telling you, it may not. You may have a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But another thing that you can do is what I probably would be the person, I would do this before I would plant it now, is just save it, let the foliage die down,
Yeah.
put the bulbs in a cool location and plant them in the fall.
I agree with that. I didn't actually mean to plant them in the spring. Although you
I
can.
mean, yeah,
but
I
you know, if
have
you think you're
clients
going
do
to
that all the
forget,
time.
yeah. But if you think you're going to forget in October, yeah.
So if I got a
Plant 'em
Mother's
now.
Day arrangement, take those once they're spent. Do not take the leaves off and put them like in the fridge.
Garage.
Garage.
In the garage. Let them
then-
dry down.
Okay.
And like you can put them in a garage and then like a window, and let them dry down and yellow, and then they'll dry, and then you can plug them in the ground in October, November.
Just keep them in a, you just want to keep them dry.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to heat them up.
so
A
they go
cool, dry
dormant,
location.
yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about cooling it because you're going to vernalize it in the
Yeah.
the ground.
And they may or they may not. Hyacinths are a lot more reliable. When my father passed away 25 years ago, the ladies in my church group gave me a beautiful basket with hyacinths in it, pink and white, in a little pot, in this figure 8 twig basket. It's beautiful. And they bloom every spring.
Oh.
Every spring. I got done with them. I did what Kelly was talking about doing, and then I just plugged them in a little bed where I always see them. And I mean, they are
Still going.
oh my
Still
gosh,
going strong.
ironclad.
It just depends
every spring.
on the plant, I
Yep,
guess.
they sure do.
So
And it's
really-
a good spot too, because it's a little high and it doesn't get wet all winter. It drains pretty easy. So yeah.
So really, if we think about it, the flowering plants that you usually get for your mom, the tulips, the lilies, the one thing that is not going to come back would be a flowering hydrangea. Because you think about these
yeah.
hydrangeas that are beautiful that you buy in your pot for your mom. Those are called florist hydrangeas. So they're not going to be winter hardy, and they're not going to produce a shrub in our climate. So they
Okay.
are a flower arrangement with roots.
Gotcha.
Maybe in Florida
Or since it,
or
yeah.
Costa Rica, but it's probably too hot there. But
But I am tried and true. Got to give mom flowers for Mom's Day, and it doesn't matter if it's a hanging basket,
Yes.
a vase of flowers, a propagation bouquet. Mom is going to take care of those flowers for the rest of the year and think
Yes.
about you.
That's what me and my mom do. We trade a basket every year.
Oh, do you?
So, yes.
What did you get her this year?
Well, we go and do it together, like
Okay.
at the place.
Oh,
so we
all
haven't
right.
had
You
our
haven't
nursery.
picked it out.
We haven't done our nursery appointment yet
There you
because
go.
Mother's Day was kind of busy. But
a little.
we got about 5 minutes left. Let's talk about some pitfalls to help people avoid as they're putting their gardens in. This could be flowers or food. What are some common traps that we run into as new gardeners that you see people? I'll start. Weeds.
I got a solution for you.
Yes.
When it comes to weeds, one of the things that you can do, raised beds, instantly, no weeds.
Yes.
Very little weeds if you, let's say you buy compost and you get a little weed seed in your compost.
Yeah.
I know that another thing it's called a shuffle hoe. A stirrup hoe.
I'm going to Google these things so I can have them. Okay.
And so it's round like this.
Okay.
And so when you're standing straight up,
Yeah, that's the thing.
and so what you're doing is you're getting all these small weeds, and it's going right underneath the roots.
Nice.
And so it leaves the weeds on top of the soil, and they dry out and they die. And I'm telling you,
Easy on the back.
if you get
You know
your weeds in the beginning,
yeah,
now,
if you do.
get that shuffle hoe out now. Start shuffle hoeing.
Okay.
It
if you
will help.
Yeah.
That's what always gets me. By July, I'm fighting the weeds so bad, and I'm like getting in the jungle looking for tomatoes or whatever because I just can't stay on top of the weeds.
Mulch with straw.
I did that last year, and it really helped. Thank you very much, Marty.
And when you do straw, don't shake it up. When you cut the
The
strings on it.
full.
When you cut the strings on a bale of straw, it comes off in little sections about 4 inches wide called flakes. Just lay the flakes right
Yes.
there. Just lay them right down,
That helped a lot
edge
last
to
year.
edge, and put it right up next. Like here's the plant, put the flake right up there. I do when I plant potatoes. I plant the potatoes and I put the flakes of straw all the way down with a crease in the middle. The potatoes come right up, and works perfectly. They stay clean.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
I'm going to get that tool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You
going
should.
to get it.
It's amazing because at first you'll be like, oh, I don't want to leave all the weeds on top. It looks ugly. But in a day, they're gone.
Nice.
And it's nice to watch them scream
So-
and
Yeah,
die
it is.
in the sun. Yes.
Don't
On
let
that
them
note-
flower. Don't let
Yes.
them
Oh, yeah.
flower.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you
Don't
have
let
to
the weeds
go
flower.
lawn mow, weed eat, that's another secret. Never let a weed flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've been attacked by weed flowers
Oh, yes.
before.
Oh, yes. All right. On that note, thank you guys so much. I learned a lot as always. I really appreciate your time and talent.
Thank you.
If you've got questions for our experts, send them in to us at yourgarden@gmail.com or search for us on socials. Just look for MidAmerican Gardener, and we will see you next time. Good night.